Okay, so that's what I wanted to do. So today we are going to do a little bit of CSS, right? And hold on, I would share my screen very soon. So hold on, I'll share my screen very soon. So hold on, I have to check something. My laptop is hanging. I want to check your curriculum to be sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Okay.
So let me check the curriculum. So hold on, see. Okay, so I've done heading, paragraphs, line break. We're going to do lists, and so we're going to do lists. We're going to learn about lists and creating tables. So hold on. Okay. So let me share my screen now. Let me share my. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so I don't know what's going on. The screen should be um. All right, fine. I think I'll fix it. All right. So I want you to look at this website. You see this website like this, okay? It's almost like what you have on your own. All right. So first of all, I think I should structure it to look like that. Okay, so you know what? Share your screen. Let me see. We have to make some edits to your code. So can you share your screen? Let me see.
Okay. Yeah.
I've stopped sharing mine, so please share your screen because I want us to create a page like that for you.
I'm already sharing it.
Okay, so go to your VS Code. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. No problem. I've checked it. It's fine. So let's go back to this. Let's. You can stop sharing. Let me start sharing.
Okay.
I've taught you how to do links and all of that. So when it comes to writing CSS, like I've said, you've seen your page now. Your page is just like a block of your current page now. So by the time we add CSS, we're going to have a page like this. All right. So we're going to do it one by one. So the only difference in your page is that maybe you had add a line. The element to add a line is HR. Anyway, I'll show you. Don't worry. So let me go and copy out the code for um this page. Let me copy out the code so that you will see how we'll turn it into that one that you're seeing there. So while my VS Code is loading, the thing about there are three ways to write HTML. HTML, I'm sorry, CSS. CSS everything is looking fine. All these different colors, all these icons, everything you are like this is CSS. Right now, you're only seeing text, you're only seeing writing, black writing. You're not seeing any color on your page. But we're going to use CSS to put color now. All right. So
Okay.
there are three ways to use CSS. You have the inline, you have the
I said it.
inline. Let me go to W3 School and find it. Mm, Inline, external and internal CSS, and I'll explain that now. Uh, so my VS Code is coming up. Let's close this tab. Okay. Sure. Finn, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Is my screen still showing?
No.
Okay, so let me share it now. My VS Code is taking so low. So I shared this screen. What about now? Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Screen? Okay, fine. So let's talk about CSS. What is CSS? CSS um is used to format the layout of a page. Okay. So with CSS, you can control the color, you can control the font size. Font size, to control the font. Font is, for instance, okay, we'll talk about font, don't worry. You can control the size of the text. Like you can see, so this one is bigger than this one. So even the spacing, the spacing between this sentence here. Can you see my cursor on the screen?
I can
Can you
see
see my
it.
cursor moving? Okay. So you see that the space between this sentence is different from the space here. This space is bigger. All right. All of this is with CSS. Okay. So now let's talk about attributes inside. This is an example. Let's open this example. Okay, so this example is loading. Sorry, give it time. I don't know why it's taking so long.
O- Okay.
Okay, so it's network problem. Yeah, so this is an example. Sorry. So you can see in this example, this is a normal H1. This is a, let me remove this here. Okay. Why is it not copying? Okay, you know what? Let's just delete it. Okay, so you see, this is your like your normal H1. This is just the H1. It is black. It is just like that on its own. Now, if you're going to add an inline CSS, the reason why it is called inline CSS is because it's written on the same line as the HTML. Okay, so this is a paragraph too. You can see there is written there. So if you're maybe this is your H1, let me make this bigger. Maybe this is your H1 or your paragraph or whatever. All you just need to do is to go to the opening tag of the H1 like this. All right. Sorry, I don't know what's um I can't seem to edit this one. That's weird. Hold on, let me restart the page again.
Okay, ma.
Okay, I reloaded the page. Okay. So like I was saying, this is like your normal H1. It's like your normal H1. You have your H1. It could be your paragraph. It could be, yeah, your H1 or your paragraph. Okay. Or maybe it's an image. Okay, you already know how to do image. Don't worry. So basically, what you want to do is this. You come to this your H1. You put a space. Why is it not working? Okay, so let me delete this here. So you put a space there. For some reason, this is not working. You know what? Let me do it somewhere else. It's like there's something wrong with the page. Let me just copy it from here. Let me do it in another place. Okay. So I'm going to use here. All right, fine. So this is where I need. Okay. So I'm going to paste it here. So now, as I was saying, just like this is a paragraph. So all you need to do, you go into the H1, into the parent, into the one without the slash, not the ending or the beginning tag. So you leave a space and then you type style. All right. Style is equal to. Then what is the property that you want? You have to put a quotation mark like this. You have to open a quotation mark like this. All right. And then what's the first thing that what you want to change here now is the color. So you write color and you write red, okay? And then you close the um you put the closing quotation mark. Okay, there should be a semicolon here. Exactly. So it is very important. You see these two things that are here, this semicolon and this quotation mark, this other they are very important. If you don't put them, it will not show. All right. So let us go and see. No, we're going to do blue here. color is the property that you will write if what you want to change is the color. Okay. So if we run this one now, if we run it like this, you see the paragraph is blue. Now I have removed the styling from the paragraph here. I mean the heading is blue. I have removed the styling from the paragraph here. Let us do this one. You see it's the same. You just write style is equal to, you open a quotation mark, color red, you close it like this, and that is all. If I run this code now, that one will turn red. See, it's red. So it's as simple as that. All right, that's what CSS will do for you. It will help you design the page. So as I said, we are going to be designing your page. We are going to turn it into that block of text that it is right now. We're going to turn it into this. So I've just showed you the inline way of doing CSS. Now let me show you the other ways of doing CSS. There is something called the the internal CSS. Let's start with the internal CSS. If you take a look at this, code, Pin, are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Pin, are you with me?
I mean,
Okay. So look at this code. I know you might not understand this now, so I'm going to make it easier. I know you might not understand it. Let me do it like this. Okay, we're still going to learn about list, but I just want to show you what. Let me list the a list of animals. Let me write it here. List of animals. List of animals. Okay, so give me animals that you know. Give me
dog,
animals that you know. What?
dog,
What did you say? What did you say, Fia? I didn't hear you.
a dog,
A dog. Okay. Let's write dog. Which animal again do you know?
cat,
Okay. Give me another one.
rabbit,
Okay. And the last one.
donkey.
A donkey. Okay.
Yes.
Donkey. So now this is going to appear as a list. I know you don't understand it now, but that's not important. This is what is important right now. Okay. So hold on. Let me remove. I want to remove the styling. So if I run it like this, you see, so this is the code here. You can see how it is, right? Now, if I want to put CSS that I don't want the name, I don't want all this mark at the side to show, right? This is how we use an internal CSS. The first one I showed you that you write it directly in the elements like this. You just write style. That one was inline. This one we're doing now is internal CSS. So to write internal CSS, what you need to do is very simple. If you go to your VS Code like this, on your code, where you will write your style is this. You see this page here that is title page, right? You can see this page.
Yes.
I mean that line that is saying title. So usually what you will do is that you're going to put your CSS here after that line. You open a style because CSS is all about styling. You open a style. You see, there's an opening tag for a style, and then there is a closing style for the closing tag for the style. Sure, you can see it.
I can see it.
Yes. So I'm going to replicate it here. So it's the same thing as writing style here, and then now writing the closing tag for the style. Now, this is what internal CSS looks like. This is where I am going to write my CSS, or inside here. Okay, is where I'm going to write my CSS. So if I paste the CSS to make this thing to write without this um full stop at the side, if I run it, you see now it's not it has removed. This is what they call internal CSS. You are writing it inside the HTML. That's why they call it internal. You're writing it inside the um CSS. Do you understand? Do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any question.
Do you have any questions?
No,
All right, great. So the one that we're going to be using is the last one, and that one is called external CSS. Now let me show you how that is, and that's what you are going to be using. You're not going to use internal, you're not going to use inline. You'll be using external CSS. So that one is very easy, just like the way you opened your HTML file here. So you will go to your VSF. You see this place here. Finn, are you looking at it?
I can see it.
So this place, you click on it. You are going to open another file. You are going to call that file style.css. Okay, this one is, you can call it any name.html for this one, but for CSS you can call it any name for your CSS too. You can call it any name for your CSS too, but the important thing is just make sure it has .css so that the browser will know that this is a CSS file, not a HTML file, because they are different files. One is for HTML, one is for CSS. The one for your CSS must have full stop.css at the end of it, just like this p. So if you want to name your CSS p.css, it will still work. The most important thing is to make sure that .css is there, .html is there, so the browser will know which one is for which one. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, very good. So now when you open it, this is your HTML here. If you click it like this, you will see your code. In your CSS, if you click it, it's empty. There is nothing there. Okay, and it's very easy to do. All you need to do, if you notice, when I was writing about the inline CSS, the internal and the inline CSS. You see this one now, you can see it's just like this. You write it. This is how you start writing. You don't need to write, when you're writing external CSS, you don't need to write this style thing. You don't need to write the one under. Okay? You don't need to write this. All you need is just your CSS straight up. Just go straight to the CSS. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Yes, but when we're learning this in class, right? We'll be using internal, but for your own homework, you'll be using external CSS. So don't worry, I'll show you how to do that. So those are the types of CSS that we have. So like I said, this is the page that we're going to recreate. All right. So let me copy the code for this page. Let me copy the code for this page. So I'm going to start here. Okay. Okay. Create class container. All right. So like I said, in this class we're going to be using CS. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to put it here. Okay, so hold on. So let me run the code. I'm going to make that picture very small very soon. So most times when we want to, let me make this bigger. Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
So most times when you want to style an image, most times for image we use inline styling. For instance, what I'm going to do here now, I'm going to write height. I'm going to make the height equal to equal to 100. Okay, so let me see. All right, very fine, very good. So this is how, if there was a what's it called, if there was a picture on your website, this is how it would look like, this big write-up, right? It's just a block of text, right?
Yes.
See,
It is.
but we're going to turn this block of text into what we're saying. Where is it? We're going to turn it into this. No, not this. We're going to turn it into this. All right. So I'll show you. So the first thing we're going to do, first thing we're going to learn. Where's the code? All right. So I'm going to teach you about. I'm going to teach you about colors and fonts. Okay. Let me see the CSS for this page. Hold on. Sorry. I want to see the CSS for this code. Okay. So let me open this one. Let me see. I don't know which one it says. Okay. Okay, I think this is it. Okay. Okay, so this is it. So I'm going to teach you about fonts, text align, fonts, text align, margin and border. Okay, font size. All right, fine. So that's what I wanted to check. So the first CSS we are going to learn about will be, hold on. Okay, so let's learn about colors, okay?
Okay.
CSS colors. So, so colors are specified using predefined colored names, okay? But for your level, we're just going to be using normal colors, all right? This is an inline way of styling. All right, so color is very simple. I already told you about colors before. I already showed you how to do colors before, but we will do it here again. Hold on. Um, I'm looking for. Okay, let's use this one. Let's use this one. Okay. Let's use this list we have written used before. All right. So let's assume let me use this. So like I said in class when we're doing like this, we're going to be using the internal CSS. All right. So let's assume we have a. Let me check the code from here. Let's assume that we have this right up here. Section. Let me take this copy. I hope you're understanding me.
Yes, I'm
P,
understanding.
are you understanding?
Yes, I am understanding.
Okay. So let's assume that we have the sentence now. All right. Let's assume I want to change the color of the write up. Very simple. Very simple. I'm just going to come to. Okay. You know what? I think it's smarter to use. Let me use this code. but it's a lot, so it might confuse you. Let me stay here. All right. So let me write my style. What did I do? Oh, can you imagine? I went to delete that thing. I'll write it again. I accidentally closed the page. So I'll write it again. Okay, so let me delete all the CSS right here because you don't need it. All right, so let's assume this is my Let's assume it's my paragraph. All right, paragraph here. Then I'll close it here. All right. So let me. Okay. So let's assume that I want to make all the color in this paragraph now. I want to make it red. I want the color to be red. I want the text to be red. It's very simple. All I need to do is go to my style. Okay. So if it's a H1 you want to, if it's H1 you want to style, you write H1 like this. All right. If it's paragraph you want to style, you write paragraph. In our case, it's a paragraph we want to style. So you will now use this coily bracket. They call it coily bracket. Can you see the bracket?
Yes, I can see the bracket.
Can you see it on your computer?
Yes, I can see it.
So you have open this coily bracket. You actually open it front and back, and then you write in the middle like this. So your right up will be in the middle. So what you want to change is the color. So you write it there. You tell the browser, I want to change the color to red. You put this semicolon. Now it is very important. What did I do? I've made a mistake. I have made a mistake. Hold on. HTML head and style. Okay. So I selected paragraph. So when you select P in your CSS like this, all right? When you select P in your CSS like this, you are telling the browser that okay, oh, this paragraph element, I want to change the color. You open your curly bracket, the color. The color is spelled without a U, all right? Color, and then you put your semicolon like this. You want to change this color, you want it to be red, and then you put a semicolon that has a comma at the bottom, and then you close the bracket, all right? So you can see it like this. So if I run this code now, hold on. Sorry, my system is hanging. Hold on. What's happening? Finn, can you hear me?
Yes,
Finn.
I can hear you.
Okay, sorry, I don't know what's going on. Nothing is responding. So hold on. Okay, I think it's coming back. Okay, it's back. So if I run this code now, you see everything here now is red. You can see it, right? So it's as simple as that. So that means if you want to do this in your CSS, you just the way it is written like this, you just go and put it inside your CSS file. You don't need to write this style. You just write it like this. Okay. So let us. I will do an example in this code here. This code. So let's assume that okay, you only have one H1 in your own. So I'm going to leave one H1 here. Um. Okay. So now there's only one HR. So if you look at where's the page that we're trying to reproduce? Yeah. Okay, so if you look at this page, if you see right here, you can see that the color of this thing is different, right? So we're going to change the color of our H2 here, this one here. And as you can see, what's the H2? Meets blessing it, then the other one is in strong. So we're going to change this H2 to purple because the color there is purple. So we're going to change it to purple, right? Hold on. So let's come here, come to our CSS. Then you write H2. Is that a H2 or a H3? Is a H2. Is a H2, right?
Yes.
Yes, H2. So we're going to select H2. We're going to open the curly bracket and we're going to write color. We're going to write color, color, semicolon, purple. Okay, then close it. All right. So if I run this now, you see, this is purple, just like you have on the page here. Do you see it, Finn?
Yes, I
Finn.
see.
So this is the code for. I think this is the yes, this is the code for that page. You can see here they change the color. Now we used purple, but this is numbers way of writing color. You might not understand it, but since you understand purple, just leave it like that. So this is the code for it. All right, all right. So that's the code for it. So the next thing we're going to learn about, that's for color. The next thing we're going to learn about is font size. Let's font size. We've learned about colors. Let's learn about font size. Or let's learn about fonts. So choosing the right font for your website is important. Okay. So it's also like, for instance, now let's assume that these fonts were really, really small. We'll not be able to do it, we'll not be able to see it. So it's important that you use fonts that people can see on your website. So there are different ways of using fonts. For the most part, the font that your browser is already showing is enough. So you might not need to change the font type. There are different type of fonts. If you go to website, you can see this kind of fonts. All these are fonts. This is a type of font. You can see the way it's writing. This font is called Korean New. This is another type of font. But obviously, if you write your website with this font, you know that nobody will see it, right? If you write it with this font, you know that people it will be difficult, right? Fee.
Yes, it's a bit difficult.
Yeah, so you might not necessarily need to know your fonts, but just know that there is something called fonts, and then you can use it to write your website anyhow, any way you want to write it. Okay. And what you should know is that the font, you can change your font size. If you want your font size to be smaller or bigger, you can change it. I mean, H1 is already big, H2 is already big. Let us look at this example for font size. Okay. So now they have a H1 and a paragraph on this page. Let me remove the. Okay. So run. So this is a heading. All right. This is a heading. This is heading one, heading two. This is a paragraph. So this is the default size. Okay. This is the size the browser will give you when you use an element. But maybe you want your H1 to be bigger. Do you understand? Maybe you want your paragraph to be bigger. You can easily change the font size. Just select what you want to select. This is H1, this is paragraph. So for the H1, now we're telling the browser we want the font size to be 40. For the H2, we're telling the browser we want the font size to be 30. for the paragraph, we're telling the browser we want it to be 14. So if I run this code now, do you see the H1 is bigger, obviously. If you make it a font size of 50, if you run it, it's bigger. If I make this one 30, okay, this is 30 now. Let's say I make it 40, it's bigger. If I reduce it to 10, it will be smaller. So the same thing for the paragraphs. You can change it to any font size that you want. That is the job of font size. Okay? Do you understand? Any questions?
No.
All right, very good. So I think for that page that we want to recreate, um, yeah, I don't think we only use the font weight. So, well, yeah, a font weight of normal. So there's no need. There's another property called font weight, but to be honest, the likelihood that you will use it is very slim. They didn't even put it here, sir. So because you don't need it, so there's no font weight here. So that's all about font, all right? So you see this line here. You see that there is
Hi.
a line around this H. This is a H2. This aspiring front end developer is a H2. But you can see this white line around it, right? This white line is like in a
Yes.
box, right? Do you We create this box using what we call borders. Let's learn about HTML and CSS borders. It's something called
Hello.
borders. Let's go.
Can you hear me?
What? Yes, ma, we can hear you, ma.
Hi. Okay, I've been trying. Sorry, I'm coming late, but I've been trying to come in.
No problem, ma. Ma, are you there?
I'm here. Network has been dealing with me.
Yes.
So, how are you doing?
Hello, ma. Director. Fee, are you there? Director is having network issues. Are you still there?
Yeah. Yes.
Director is having network issues. So,
I'll still go out of your spaces now. Mofin, how are you?
okay.
I'm fine now.
Okay. How is class going? Are you enjoying yourself?
Yes, I am.
Are you learning?
Yes, I am.
Hello, can you hear me? You're learning. All right, great. Did you do your assignment? Were you given an assignment last week?
Yes, I did it.
Okay, so just summarize for me what you learned in the last 2 days. That was last week, Monday, Saturday, and Sunday. Since I wasn't fully here, just give me a quick summary.
And I learned different types of elements.
Is it my network or Isoha? Can you hear him?
Yeah, I can hear him.
I said that I learned
Hello?
different.
We can hear you, ma. Although you're breaking. Director.
Okay. Let me know. Yes, yes, I can hear you. I can barely hear him. But all the same, maybe anytime my network is better, I will try to rejoin. I just wanted to check on you that class is going on. Has he been able to fill the form?
Oh no, we've not gotten there, but I'll make sure he fills it before I leave. Hello, ma.
Okay, today, please. I need the information.
Yes, I
Okay,
will.
then
I
I
will.
was also going to check if we were able to share some of the videos from the YouTube channel. So was the assignment related to some of those short videos that were done on CodeZone? Like the ones we used for the other class. Or you're going to
Yes,
be
ma.
going with that from
As soon as
today.
I give him his assignments, I will share those links with him so that he can check them for reference. After he fills the form and I've given him his assignment, then I'll share those link with him that he should use them for reference.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's fine because those are materials, those are reference materials that I would like us to, it should enhance their ease of assimilating some of these things.
Yes, ma. No problem, ma.
Okay, all right. I know my network is bad, so I'm going to leave now so that you can optimize the day. Bye, Mofi. I hope I can join in before you finish so that network is better. Say hello to mommy. Bye.
Okay, mom.
All right. So where did I stop? We're talking about borders. I said that box, to create that box, we use something called borders, and I'll show you what it means now. Sorry, hold on. So let's look for borders. Okay, borders. So I'll teach you about borders and margin and padding. All right. So this is called a border. Let's just go to an example because I feel an example is the best way to describe it. Hold on. Okay. So describe it. Okay, let me use this section I was using. All right. Let's say for instance, let me make this write up red and black again. Let's say for instance, I have this write up here, right? This write up you can see here. Let's assume I want to put a border around it, or I want to put it inside a box. It's very simple. And this is where, okay, let me not say classes. Okay, let's not go to classes. So what you need to do is very simple. Now, because this is a paragraph, right? All I need to do, let's assume I have turned it to, I want to make the color, I want to make the write up, I want to give it a red color. I want to give it a red color. So let it be red. And then I want to put a border around it. Okay. Let me put a border around it. So what you will do when you want to write a border or when you want to put a border is very easy. All right. You will just write border so that the browser knows that okay, this person wants to put a border. So let me give it a border of 1px, sorry, 1px solid, 1px solid red. No, let's make it blue. Don't worry, I will explain. I know you don't understand now, but I will explain. All right. So always you can see every CSS I'm writing, it is always inside the bracket. You open the bracket. Let me make this bigger. You after you have selected the element, maybe it's a paragraph or a H1 or a heading element, you open the bracket. So you can see I put this color red, put the border before I close the bracket. So let me show you what this will give you. If I run this code now, you can see there's a border around it, right? Can you see the
Yes,
border thing?
I
Yes.
can see
So
it.
basically, we are told the border that we want this border, we want this line to be 1px solid, to be this, that's the size. If I say this line should be 5p, if I say it should be 5px, look at what will happen. the line will be thicker. You see, the line is thicker. If I make it 20 px, good afternoon, how are you? If I make it 20, you see, it is way thicker. Okay, so when you say you want a 1 px
What about 50?
border, it can do 50 too. But why would you want to put a border as big as this? For the most part, even if you check this website now, if it's 1 px, for the most part you'll be using 1 px. I've never seen a website where somebody had to use 50. So for the most part you use one or two. All right, 1 px like this, solid. Now there are different types of border. Let me show you the types of borders here. Let us see it. Now this first one is a dotted border. You can see how it is. First of all, where is a solid? Okay, you can see this solid border. See a solid border. It's just like a normal border. All right. See a dotted border. This is a dashed border. You see a dotted border. It's writing like dots, dots, dots. A border. You can see this is like hyphen. All right. Now you have a solid border, a double border. You see there are two. They are doubled. A groove border is groove because see how it is. It's different from a solid border. All right. This is a so there are different types of borders. For this is a mixed border. It's a mixture of dashed, solid, and all of that. So the likelihood of you using these borders is very slim. Most times you will probably just be using the solid border for the most part. You'll be using it so just like here. You can make it dashed. You can make it dashed. All right. You see, it's returned to dash dash dash. You can make it dotted. You can make it anyone you want to. Maybe you've forgotten what properties of borders are available. You can always Google it. That what are the types of borders available? Google will give you the answer in case you forget. But for the most part, like for your project now, is what you'll be using is a solid. All right, a solid. So you can also change the color. You can make this green. You can give it any color you want to. For instance, this blue now we can make it green. All right. See now it has turned green. All right. So for this our code here, we want to put this meat blessinitoha inside a border. Very simple. If you check the code, it is in H2. All right. H2. So because we've already selected the H2, we're just going to add what we want to put here. We're just going to add the border like this. Border 1px solid. Let's make it black. Okay. So don't forget to put your exclamation mark like this. So if I do this for the H2, so if I do this now and I run the code, you see there's a border around it, right?
Yes.
Exactly just like what you have here. No, it's not here. What we have here, you see? So slowly by slowly, we are going to be. You can see how CSS has designed this one. It has given us this border. The difference now is the space in this border. But you can see how CSS is slowly changing how the page is looking, right?
Yes. I can see it.
Yeah, where's the code that we're using to write? Okay, see it. You see, so we have done the first one, we have done the border. So let us now talk about how to put space in the border. All right. We use something called padding to put space in the border. I'll show you what that means now. Where's the section? This right up will have here. Now we want to create space inside. We'll use something called a padding. All right. So because it's still the spelling of the paragraph. All right. So now let me show you how padding works. Padding. So how the browser sees it, there are four corners in this border, right? This is the top line. This is the left. This is left line. And so if you want to put a border, the browser is structured that, do you understand? Let's assume you want to do the padding top. You want to do 50 p want to do we are written padding top, want to do 50 px, right? 50 px. If I run it, you can see now there is now a space on top. Do you see it? Only on the
Yes.
top are you seeing the space. Are you seeing it, Fini?
Yes, I can see it.
All right. So let me reduce this to 20. Let me reduce it to 20. All right. So now let's assume you want to do the padding for the right side. This is the right. So if I do padding right, all right, and I put 20 px too, because it makes sense for all of them to have the same size, the same spacing. If I run this code, you see there's a space here. It's not as close to it as it was before. This is 20. If I say I want to make it 50, it will be bigger. You see, the space at this, see, it's so big that this one had to come under because of the space here. But let's make it 20. 20. So of course you can already have an idea of what the under will look like, right? So what would the bottom be? Be
20.
there.
Yes.
Let me just help you out. It will be padding bottom. Do you understand what I'm doing?
Yes.
So how come you did not get that it was padding bottom? Let's give that one
I thought you were
20 px
talking
too.
about the number.
No, I was asking you a question. Padding bottom. You see, now there's a space at the bottom. Notice there's no space here. So what would this one, if you want to put the padding on the right, what would it be?
Padding left.
Padding left. Thank you very much. Padding left. You can see how I'm writing them, right? Padding left,
Yes.
which is going to be 20 px. Where did I write that now?
Up.
Yeah, mistake. 20 px. Notice that when I write the element, I put a semicolon, I put a space before I write the number. All right. So if I run this now, you will see that there is a space. Oh, padding left. Let me do it. Padding left. All right. So now there's a padding at the left. Do you understand? But now there is a short way of writing it. Okay. I will show you the short way of writing it. So sometimes you already know, like in this situation now, if I check this, you already know you are going to put a padding. You can see that the space up is okay. Well, this one tries in the middle. All right. So let's just use it. So sometimes you will see padding, they will write it like this. They'll write it like this. Sorry. They write it oh, God, 10 px space 10 px space 10 px space. All right. And then you now put your semicolon with a comma. This is supposed to be 10. Or you know what? Let me do it like this. Let me do it like this. 10, 20, 20. Let me do it like this. All right. Now let me explain what this is. Now you remember there are four sides. You have the top, you have the right, you have the bottom, you have the left. That is what is let me make it bigger. That is what is represented here. It will go clockwise. You know how your if you're looking at your clock, you know how the second hand used to go. It used to go, it's always going towards the right, right? So we're doing one by one, one. You know how it goes, right?
Yes.
So that is called a clockwise rotation. That is exactly what is going to be happening in the border. It's going to be a clockwise. It's going to be going from top to right to bottom to left. So it's like a circle from top to the side to the bottom to the side back up. So basically, what this means is that the padding top is going to be 10, the padding left is going to be 20, the padding bottom is going to be 10, and then the padding right is going. In short, don't worry. Let me do it again. Let me say 10, 20, 30, 40, so that you understand what I'm saying. All right. So see it. The top is 10. That's why it's the smaller. The one that is here is the smallest one. 10 px. The right, see the right. The right, this place is 20. This place is bigger than this place because here is 20. I think I gave that side 40. The bottom is 30. You can see this is top, this is right, this is bottom, and this is the left. This has the most space because it's the left. Do you understand?
Yes.
This is the short form of writing it. So you use this method maybe when you want to give all the sides different spacing. All right? You use that method. Okay? So for sometimes you might also see it like this. You will see 10 px, you will see 30 px. Sometimes you only see two values. Let me use this place. Sometimes you only see two values. Do you know what those two values stand for? When you see two values like this, Finn, are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
When you see two values like this, just know that it means that for the padding, the first one will represent the top and the bottom. The top and the bottom will be the first one. While the second one will be the two sides. Both sides will be the same size. Do you understand? The first one will go for the top and the bottom. The second one will go for the two sides. Do you understand?
Yes.
So that means up and bottom is 10 px, 10 px. Why this side are 10? So there are different ways that you can write it. All right. So for this our assignment, what we are going to do now, let me see how they did it let me look at the code. I think in the code, okay, they just put a padding of 20 px around it. Let me teach you something called border radius, and then we are done for today. I'll give you classwork and we're done for today. Let me teach you something called border radius so that you understand it. But first of all, let us put a padding inside our border. So for here, it's just a padding of 20 px. So I'm going to put a pad. Just leave this border radius first. But I'm going to put a padding for 20. Let me tell you what border radius means. Let me make everything to be let me make everything to be 20 px here. All right. Let me give it a padding of 20 px. Now, do you notice the corners of this border? Let me make it bigger. You see the corner of this border? You can see it's square, right?
Yes.
It's square, right? Now let's assume you want to make it rounded, okay? Because if you check this our page here that um we are trying to recreate, you can see it's not all that square, right? It's a little
Yes.
bit curved. Border
Yes.
radius is what is going to make it curve. So after you have put a border, you will now put a border radius, something called border radius. All right. So let's assume I give this a border radius of 40 px. Just watch you. I give it a border radius of 40 px, right? I run it. Do you see how round it is?
Yes.
Let's assume you want it to be small. You don't want it to be rounded. You can give it 30 px. You see, it's less rounded. You can give it 10 px. It will be less rounded. You see,
Okay
less
now.
round. So depending on how rounded you want it to be, for this our, you said,
What about 70?
what did you say? Okay, let's try 70. In your spare time, you can also be checking out all these things when you are free. That okay, if I use 70, what will it look like? See, to be super round. I think the highest you can use is 50 anyway. After 50, it can't be round anymore, more than 50. But if I do 50, it will still be almost the same thing. It can't be more rounder than this. The 50 is almost the same
Okay.
because it can't go rounder than 50. So even if you use something higher than 50, 50 is where it ends. Do you understand?
Yes.
But for that our page, all you need is like a 4px. See, because it's almost square. If you look at it very well, it's almost. But then again, it's your page. You can decide to use any number you want to use to do your radius. That's up to you. You can decide that you want it rounder. For here, I'm going to leave it at 4px. But if you want your own to be rounder, you can do it. You see now there is a space because I put a padding and then it's rounder. All right. So I'm going to stop here. All right. So your classwork is that you are going to. This is how your this is how your write-up is looking right now without the picture because you've deleted the picture. So the picture will be your homework. The picture will be your homework. But for your classwork, this is how your write-up is right now, right?
Mm-mm.
If
Yes.
you want to put a HR, if you want to draw this HR you are seeing, this line you are seeing here, you just put a HR on top of the code. Let me show you how I drew that line. You see, the HR is on top of the link here. Oh, sorry, where is it? You see, after this is not supposed to be here. Okay, so you see my name is Itohan. You can see this HR here. That is the line for this one you are seeing. This HR, you can see it's on top of my name. This one that you're seeing under here is on top of the link. This is your link, right? You can see the HR here. So if you want to do that in your page, that's up to you. But right now, you are going to take that H2. I don't know if it's H2 or H3 that is in your page that is just looking like this. Turn it from this to this. All right? So that's your assignment. I mean, that's your classwork. So do it now and I'll come and check it. I'll give you 15 minutes.
I should turn the H
Make your H2 like this.
purple.
Do you understand? Do you understand?
No.
Do you understand? Okay, so I'll come back to you in 15 minutes.
Wait, I did not hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now? So what
Yes.
you will do for me, your classwork now, the first thing you will do is to go and create your CSS file. I told you how to create your CSS file. If you come to this place here, just like the way you created your HTML, you just need to open a like create a new file. Then you name your CSS any name you want. You can decide to name it theme. All right. You can decide to sorry. You can decide to make it theme. Just make sure it has dot CSS there on the name. Just make sure it has just as your HTML has dot HTML. So that's the first thing you do. So when you've opened your file, you will see it will be an empty file like this. It will be empty like this. So this is where you put your HTML. You can see here, you can see here that there is a HTML here. So just all you need to do, your own, you will not write body, your own will start with H2 because it's only H2 you have done. So do your H2, make sure your H2 has a border. Your H2 should look like this. Sorry, your H2 should look like this. All right. All right. So that means that this will be inside your H2. This is what will be inside your H2. Let me show you. So in your CSS, this is what your H2 should look like, or this is what should be in your H2. All right. Do you understand now?
Yes.
All right. So I'll give you 15 minutes to do that, and I'll come back. So you create a H2, your a CSS file, and you design your H2. Fee, how's it going? Fee,
I've done it.
you've done it. Why didn't you talk since? Oh yeah, share your screen. Let me see. Let me stop sharing. I'm sure it's not showing, right?
Showing.
Let me see. But is it showing on your profile? I mean on your page on the browser?
I want to check.
Put a space between the H2 and the curly bracket. There should be a space there. Why so much colors like this? You didn't put how many? No, it is supposed to be. No, you've made a mistake. I actually shared. You see that border radius? It is supposed to be a hyphen. It's not border radius semicolon. No. So delete that semicolon and put hyphen. Okay. There's no space between the radius and the hyphen. There's no space between the border and the radius. The only thing in between is a hyphen. Close the space and put a hyphen. Yes. Now put a semicolon in front of radius. No, a hyphen, not a quotation mark. Do you know what a hyphen is? A dash sign. No, that's not a hyphen. The hyphen should be close. The hyphen is the button before the equals to button. Yes, that one. Now put a semicolon inside in front of the radius, just like you put in padding and border. In front of the radius there. You know what? Let me share my screen. Let me show you. Stop sharing. Let me show you. Stop sharing. Let me show you. So, do you have anything like chocolate biscuit there? I know you do. I know. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So let me show you what I mean. Do you see? Let me go and show you. I can't zoom this one. So let me go to the one I can zoom. Do you see how I wrote it here? Do you see how
Yes.
I wrote it here? Do you see the border radius? You can see this column has a comma under, this one doesn't. So correct what you just did now. Look at the screen and correct your work. If you've done the correction, let me know.
I've done it, but it's showing a red something under it.
Look at this code very well. Be sure that it's the same thing with what you have in your place. Look at it very well. If everything is looking like this, there shouldn't be any red thing. So share your screen. Let me see. Let me stop sharing. What are you? Share your screen. Share your code. Okay. So let me see. You need a semicolon with comma at the back of 30px. You need it at the back of the orange too. It should be at the back
This
of the orange thing.
the or
Yes, now after orange there should be a semicolon. The one with comma. The semicolon will come. Is that it? Yes. Or
Yes.
you put it after HTML. Just say before you say but I'll check.
I'm done.
Okay, let's go to the browser. Let us see if it works on the browser. Although I doubt if it will work, and I'll show you why. It's not showing, Abby.
No.
No, don't worry, it won't show. Let me show you why. Stop sharing your screen. Stop sharing your screen. I'll show you why. Let me share my screen. So you know that I taught you about three types of CSS. You know that when you're writing inline and internal CSS, most of them they are written on the same page as the index page. That's why they are showing. All right, that's why they are showing. But you see, for this one is in a different page entirely. The HTML is in the .html file. Sorry, give me a moment. The HTML is in a HTML file. The CSS is in a different file. So you have to link the two of them so that the CSS will be reflecting. And how do you link the two of them? Very easy. You go to where your CSS is, right? You go to where your CSS is. So this is your, I mean, your HTML. You go to where your HTML is. So on top of this place, on top of this head element here, this is the head element. This is what you write. All right. So because I named my own style sheet, not styles rather. So what you need to write, you open a bracket, you write link. After you write link, you leave a space, you write rel is equals to style sheet. You leave a space, you write this, and then you now write the name of that file. So if you named your own fin.css, you write it inside here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you this code now. You're going to copy it and paste it in this same location. Then change this name. If you saved your CSS file as fin.css, it will be like this fin.css. So change that name into for whatever you used to store it. Just make sure you put it on top
Okay.
of your head elements like that. All right, so you share your screen as you are doing it, and then we'll go and check it on the browser if you show.
Okay.
Let me put it in the chat for you. So you just copy it and paste it in your browser. Hold on, I'm trying to put it in the chat. Let me stop sharing. Okay. All right, share your screen and go and put this in your browser.
Okay. I'm coming.
ṣé iṣẹ́ yẹn nìyẹn ò ń wo géèmù níbi tó ti ń ṣiṣẹ́
So you go to
ṣí
your
kìíní
HTML.
ṣí kìíní géèmù tó wà
To be your HTML.
open it if not I will tell that teacher I said you
Go
should
to your
open it.
HTML now. Myself.html. Just click on the HTML, double click on it, it will take you there.
Ò ń ṣiṣẹ́ òun wo géèmù
I'm
Just
coming.
double click on your myself.html.
Doing it.
So scroll up to your head.
you know you are foolish if you open your
I
mouth to
didn't do
talk
anything. That was the screen sharing. I didn't even do
why did you
anything.
put that thing down
I didn't put anything down. That was the screen
The
sharing.
head element is up now, thing. Did you see what I did? It was up now. Exactly. See the head element after your title. Yes, click on it.
Would I right click?
What are you doing? Pinny, what are you trying to do, please?
To put the link?
Exactly, the link is in your HTML. Why are you coming to the CSS? I put it in the you saw when I said on top of your head element after your title there. So go to where that title is, put a space, and then place the link there. No, put a space. You can't put a space. It has to be in a different line. Press enter, please. Press enter. Thank you. That's what I wanted to do. So rename that place to myself.css. I think that's what you used to save it. Just cancel fee and write myself. Okay, my css.css. Wait, you did not save your code. If you don't save your code, the code will not reflect. So if you want to save your code, you press Ctrl S. You can see it's still showing 2 at this side. You see that blue thing that is showing 2? That means you've not saved your page on your HTML and your CSS. So press Ctrl S now. Press Ctrl S. Do you know what Ctrl S is?
I'm clicking it.
Can you see if you go to the bottom of your CSS, you will see there is a button that is CTRL. Do you see a button that is CTRL?
Um,
Do you see a button that is CTRL? Please stop moving around so we can do this. I'm trying to teach you how to save your code. Do you see a button that is CTRL on your keyboard, on your laptop? It's at the bottom,
yes,
towards the left of your bottom. So you're going to press that press that button and press the letter S. You're going to press it together at the same time to save your code. Press it at the same time. You're not supposed to write anything, just press it
I'm
at the same
clicking
time.
it, but it's not working.
All right, you know what? Go to you see where you can see edit, you can see section. Go to edit. Okay, go to file. Go to file. There's no save there. Go to file. You can see save, right? Click on
Yes,
save. Can you scroll to auto save? Can you scroll down again? Click on auto save. Click on it. All right, so
it
now
has
everything
saved.
is saved. Yeah. All right, let's go and check it on the browser. Now reload. That cannot be the page because I can't see the CSS there.
I I can't. I
If you cannot find it, that means you're going to start from the beginning. So you have to find it. This is not it. check that one. Go up, go up. You see that place I said myself last week? Check it first. Okay, it's not the one. So where did you save it? You can't remember where you saved it.
I put it in the same in document.
In the same what?
In documents.
That's it. That's not it. It's the second one. That one is your CSS. Your CSS will not open like that. Only your HTML will open. So reload. It did not show. It's supposed to show. Mm. Go back to the library. Hold on. Go back to your VS Code. Okay, hold on. So why is it not showing? Give this your my CSS another name, please. Give it myself CSS. Change the name. Go and change it in your HTML file. That's wrong, oh. That's wrong. Are you seeing what you spelled? Don't worry, it's automatically saving itself now. So myself does. So please let's go back and try to reload. I don't know why it's not working. So what's going on? So go back to your VS Code. So you don't have a H2, you have a H1. Why did you write H2? What is there is H1? Please change that composition C. Change it to capital letter C. The C in the composition, change it to capital letter. Change the the A in about, change it to capital letter. And the M in myself, change it to capital letter. All right, so go and check. It's automatically saving by itself. No, so what is happening is that you wrote H2 instead of H1. You don't have a H2, so there's no H2 to show. You're supposed to design H1. You wrote H2, so go and change it to H1 because that's a H1, not a H2. Can you see it?
No, the H2 is not there.
You don't have a H2. What you have is a H1. So go to the CSS and change it to H1 because you designed H2 in your CSS. All right, so go and check it.
But this looks
Go
like
to the browser.
HI.
It's supposed to be H1, not HI. So change it to H1. I don't know why you wrote HI. It's supposed to be H1. It's so small here, so I can't see it. Thank God you even mentioned it. It's H1. All right, save it. It's saved already. Let's go and check it on the browser. Reload. Do you see it now?
Yes.
So, but for this, I mean, you don't go to a page and see different colors like this. All right. So, what I will advise you to do, we are going to follow the color combination of the page. So, go back to your right up, change that green to purple, and then change the orange to black. Change that to purple. The important thing is that you know how to do it. After the project, you can turn it to whatever color you want to do. Change that to black. All right. So your assignment is that you are going to read up about margins. All right. You are going to read up about what is called a margin. Okay. And then let me stop live streaming. You can stop sharing your screen.